What is up, guys? How are y'all doing today? Kick on music here.
I'm good. How about you, Henry?
I'm doing well. I'm excited.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, this is Mr. Henry Mosley. And we need, Henry, I need you to type your socials into the chat. Let me pin that in the chat so that people can see why you are the person that we are pulling on over here. He is an excellent conversation. This guy he's a badass, kind of a big deal here. So we are honored to have him on and joining us for this stream today, guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat coming and hopping in. We're gonna have some fun. We got a fun conversation.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and share it out. We got a good topic today and some fun conversation with Henry. I'm gonna go ahead and share it out here.
Well, that didn't work.
We're missing Mr. John today, A&J. He has had some stuff come up, so he's not going to be here tonight. I hope everything's good, John.
We got younger John.
Okay, well, y'all can't click on it, but you can copy and paste it if you really want to check my stuff out. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, all good, dude. We'll get you on there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll make it happen here. What is up, Ben? How are you doing, man? We got Saltwater 24/7.
What's up?
Evening.
Wild Japan, good to see you.
I got a new computer, so I'm like, I'm not looking at the camera like it's sorry. Figuring things out here.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get started here, there is something that we kind of need to discuss that we need to cover from last week. Grant, I want to apologize to you personally for whooping your ass in the fishing contest.
I think it was the other way around, my friend.
That was fun, man. That was kind of on the spur of a moment. We didn't get to put that together kind of the way we would have enjoyed doing it. But, man, that was a whole lot of fun going out there and doing that. I hope the noise wasn't too bad for anybody.
I watched the replay. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. We need to do it again for sure.
Yeah, I actually thought about it today because it's been a beautiful day. It's just so windy. I mean, we got like 30-mile-an-hour gusts right now.
We're the same way. How's it looking over in your neck of the woods, Henry? I know you're not too far from Grant.
We actually just had a pretty big storm, so we had a lot of flooding, a lot of heavy winds. We actually had tornadoes going through. My fiance got locked down at the gym because of the tornadoes.
Ouch.
But everyone's good. Everyone's fine. I don't think there were any injuries. There's just a little bit of damage in places where the tornadoes hit.
God, that's a
Good
blow.
deal. Yeah, we had
everybody's okay.
We had some a tornado just north of us, about 40 miles that same night, when there was quite a few south of us in Tennessee, I guess, but nothing in Kentucky, and then there was a few over in Missouri.
We have had the wind. I think we're getting like consistent 30-mile-an-hour winds or something like that right now. And my father-in-law went out and tried to do some fishing this morning. When it's windy like that, it messes with stuff. It pushes a lot of water up into the bays and makes things really muddy. It obviously kicks up the current. But also what's funny is like down here on the island, you'll go to the channel, to go fish on the jetties. And with that 30-mile-an-hour winds on that beach with that sand, it's like being in a sandblaster. It'll actually fill in all the rocks on the channel where you can walk on sand all the way down to the channel. You can walk out into the channel on some days because the sand piles up in there. And because of all that, he wasn't able to get any fish today. He was just getting blown out.
Dang it. We actually got out Friday. The pump was still going, so we fished right at the pump, and I was catching crappie every cast, but they were the same size I was catching on live stream, except I brought home 7. I probably caught over 100 and only brought home 7.
Hey, that's fun though.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to know there's still that many in there. So the employees at the lake came and turned the pump off because they were about to go home for the day. And Janet said, Well, what's going to happen when they turn the pump off? I said, well, we're about to find out. Seriously, it was every cast. I was catching one or missing one. As soon as they turned the pump off, I caught one more. For about 15 minutes, I caught one more fish after they turned it off.
What does that do? Why is that? What effect does it have on the fish to where you're not able to catch them anymore?
I don't know. Just the current, I guess. It was putting them in a little
oxygen,
pot.
maybe?
That probably some of it was oxygen, but it was putting them like in a pocket. So like when that pump was shooting that water out, it's a big 12-inch pipe. It was pushing out so much water, so like it was forming a pocket to the right, and that's where I was just wearing them out.
Huh. You know, that's funny you say that. I'm working on a video right now where I go for sheep's head, and we had a pretty heavy current that was going down in the jetty. One thing I've noticed, and I've never heard anybody talk about this, but it kind of caught my attention, something I've dealt with in the past, where I'm like drifting a bait down the channel, and instead of sitting in one spot and casting, letting it drift, and then casting and just beating that one spot to death, I was kind of wanting to see what, you know, if there was maybe a spot that was holding them. Like maybe there's a spot where there's a school hanging out. And so I went to the end and cast out right at the edge of the rocks, and then I just walked with it. And I found a little eddy where the bait just stopped and it was just sitting right there. And I didn't catch anything, but it kind of caught my attention. Like I remember dealing with that in the past where I would find an eddy, and that little eddy like that would hold bait, you know, like stuff would get piled up in that little spot because the current's not pushing it off, and that would attract fish in. So that kind of leads credence to my theory that those little eddies like that are a good spot to at least, you know, try for some fish. I didn't catch any that day, so I don't know. Henry, you do hunting, man. That is the thing that you are most known for, but I want to hear about like some of your fishing adventures before we get started here. When's the last time you were able to get out and do some fishing?
I can't remember, to be truthful. It's been a long time. I'd say it's probably last summer. But the white bass are running right now, and I'd like to get out. I don't know when I'll be able to get out, but the white bass spawn is a really fun time to be out in the water, and also they taste really good. You can catch like 30 of them and just have one big fish fry. But yeah, I haven't been out in a while. I think the last thing I fished for was either trout or smallies. I mean, I like fishing for smallies basically. Once it gets warmer, I'm gonna try and get out. I'd like to do a video at some point, but I haven't really been doing stuff on my channel. I've been focusing on other things.
Which I will pull up a link to your channel in just a moment here. Can you talk to us about what you've been doing and why we don't want excuses. We want to know like the meat and potatoes as to why you have not been able to post on your channel, because you're one of my, like, your stuff is one of my favorite. I enjoy watching it, and now I feel like I need some apologies. I want to know what's up.
Well, I mean, I've always been interested in videography, and I want to be in the outdoor industry, and part of that is, you know, filming for other people, and you can get paid to do that. And sometimes it's a easier route to go down than trying to build a channel yourself. And so over the past couple of years, I've been making my own content, trying to like kind of build a portfolio for myself. And also, like, if the channel takes off, great. But I kind of have been building this portfolio so I can, you know, apply for jobs or internships. And so I just got off an internship with a hunting group in the Northeast called Just Hunt Club, where I learned how to film hunts, learned how to edit videos better, just a crash course in the outdoor hunting industry.
That is rad. And it's one of those, like, now that you've got that under your belt, I cannot wait to see what you're going to bring to your channel with that experience.
Right. Yeah. So I've learned a lot. And you know, I'm kind of in this weird stage where I don't know what's next, and it's exciting, but it's scary.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, this turkey season, hopefully, I'm going to try and reconnect with them and do some filming for turkey season, get some experience with that under my belt. And then from there, we'll see what happens.
I take it they probably got you in on a contract basis.
No, not at the moment. The internship was strictly, volunteer and everything. Obviously all my expenses were paid for and stuff like that, but it was a unpaid internship.
Okay.
Cool.
Is that what you'd probably be doing again? Is another internship?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, good answer.
We'll see. I'm exploring opportunities, so we'll see how things go.
You put in any applications for anybody else? I'm not finding your channel, man. Why is that?
I can try and
I don't know why I don't have it on my list of channels.
Where did you share that?
Beforehand, sorry.
I can try and link the actual channel. Let me see here.
Yeah, Peter, we're going to be talking about that in just a moment. They are, that is the move that they are trying to make. They put in a bill on that, and it's a bigger conversation than just that, but we'll be talking about it in just a minute here.
I just added myself within the link that I just posted. So I don't know if you can click on that either. But then I also sent the link tree here.
Yeah, get that link tree on there for sure.
Yeah. So right now, honestly, if you guys want to follow what I'm doing, your best bet is to follow me on Instagram at the moment.
That's what I've heard. I don't have Instagram, but I've heard a lot about your Instagram account.
Yeah, I'm a bit more active on there, and also I'll share stuff that's not necessarily something that's going to go on my channel, but something I worked on or took part in.
That's cool. That's cool that you get the opportunity, and you're one of the most, I don't even know what that's called. You got moxie. You jumped out there and just took every opportunity. You were spearheading. I know the first time we talked, because we've had you on the show here before.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we talked, you're doing awesome videos. You got a lot of personality. We were all really enjoying the content, and you were talking about doing some work with some other guys. I'm not going to drop names because I don't know what your stuff on all that is, but
right.
NDAs or non-competes or whatever it is you might have with that. But I remember you talking about that, and I was kind of come on, man. I'm not even getting these offers. And then you jumped out and you got it, man. You went right into it. I was like, hell yeah, that's my boy. You did it.
Yeah. So it's really hard to get into the hunting industry, and it's really, or just the outdoor industry in general, if you want to film fishing content or hunting content or whatever, it's really difficult, and it's really just boils down to persistence, and you just got to keep talking to people, going to conventions and stuff. NWTF is here in Nashville.
I need to do that.
There's a lot of networking you can do if you're wanting to get into the outdoor industry, because it's not just turkey stuff. You'll have all sorts of YouTubers that go there, different companies that might need just commercials for products. The hunting industry is really it's really big, and there's different avenues you can go down, but it's really hard to get into, and it's also very niche. You got to know people. You got to, like I said, you got to network. And that's what I've found out. And it doesn't take you going to one sports show and talking to someone. You gotta do it for years. And starting out, I didn't realize that's how much work you're gonna have to put into it. But that's been my experience. Obviously, it might be different for other people. You might get lucky, or you might just have it, but it takes time, and it takes persistence, and it takes working at your craft.
Like that. Yeah, I hopped out to drop. I think that was the right YouTube and Instagram link. Was there anything else we needed?
No, I'm really just mostly active on YouTube and Instagram mainly, and then YouTube as well. I have Facebook. I have TikTok, but TikTok's kind of dead now in a way. Like you can't download it. So mainly just
I
Facebook and
appreciate you
Instagram.
saying that.
I think it's back now.
Yeah, it's back, but I'm pretty sure like if you didn't have it installed, if you don't have it installed on your phone, you can't install it. That's last I saw, but it could be different now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know they're doing something like that. I don't know the specifics. I'm not a TikTok guy.
I'm not too terribly upset about it because I feel like it's a good thing for YouTube and Instagram.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think competition is good. It's good having that. Like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, yeah, let it burn to the ground. But it was not, you know, there. I will say the creators that were on TikTok were more geared towards doing that kind of content, and I appreciate that. Like, I think the quality of short form videos on TikTok was better than what you find, generally speaking, on YouTube. But YouTube's a better platform. And having seen some of the numbers that these guys are getting paid, like if they knew the apples to apples conversation of like what they were making on TikTok versus what they could be making with the exact same numbers on YouTube, I mean, YouTube's going to blow it out of the water. YouTube smokes it.
And I don't know. I think, and this is just like, I guess, a personal opinion about TikTok that I have. I just don't think it was very healthy for people.
Well said. Well said.
Their algorithm, in my opinion, is kind of dangerous. Like they don't like their algorithm is on a whole nother level when compared to Instagram and YouTube, and it can keep you on there for hours and hours and hours and hours. And I just don't think that's healthy for people. I love making content and I love sharing stuff and I want people to watch, but I also don't want people to ruin their lives over it.
Right.
Well said. And I'm going to pull that for a shorts video on this channel just because. Because the people who see that video, like, they probably need to hear it. So
hey, you need to get off shorts right now. You have been on too long.
Hey, dude, are you still on here? I saw you watch one of my videos like 16 hours ago. Get the hell outdoors, man. Hey there, Miss Elliott. Welcome. Appreciate you coming and joining us. Wild Japan. I could never get views on TikTok video. On Insta, they got 50K, 4 on TikTok. It's weird the way, you know, those algorithms, you're not talking to the same people. So it's a time of day. It's who the platform is catering to at that given time. That's going to happen. And it's just, I mean, there's not a lot actionable that you can do as a creator. You can just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And it's going to stick to different walls at different times.
I actually had some decent success on TikTok. I mean, like as far as short form content goes, like there's a lot of videos where, you know, I mean, I think one had over 500,000 views. I mean, I had multiple videos with over 10,000 views. And I mean, people were following me. I mean, every single time I'd log on the app, haven't posted in a very long time. I mean, I get new followers, I get, you know, likes, views, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. And I do prefer the long form content ultimately. So it wasn't that hard for me to let go of TikTok.
Ben, he has a love-hate relationship with shorts. He loves to hate them. I'm in the same, dude. I really try to avoid this conversation because I have a lot of disdain. Like, there is a place, there's a value, and I'll be the first one to admit that there is a place for short form content. But there is so much that what drives me up the wall and pisses me off is what people don't understand about it. That is just so unnerving that the expectation that like 500,000 views is going to get you paid or something, and it's not. Like, the money of it, I won't do it. I'm sorry. Like, I could literally go off on this for like 20 minutes and I won't do it. There is value. If you make long form content, focus on the long form content. That is where your value is, and it is going to end up being more valuable than short form.
Right.
Saltwater 24/7 says, I'm worse. I start watching shorts in the blind before the sun comes up. That's addiction, man. You got to get away from that. The whole point is like you're out in nature to get away from this stuff.
Yeah. Right. Hey, sometimes, you know, you got long hours in the tree stand or the blind. I mean, you gotta do something, especially if you're not seeing anything. I mean, that was I had some pretty rough experiences during my internship where we were just doing all day sits, and it was cold, it was rainy, and you know, you gotta do something to entertain yourself, or else you're gonna go crazy.
What did they have you doing?
So essentially just documenting hunts. I started off doing a trial hunt where I came up in the summer before deer season or any hunting season opened up, and we got in a tree and just filmed deer. My first experience, which is crazy because I've been up in a tree filming multiple times, but I guess the nerves just got to me. I got up in the tree. I dropped everything out of the tree with the exception of the camera and the lens. And I was like, oh crap. And that's whenever like things really set in for me. I was like, this is a job. This is serious. This is, I got to take this more seriously, and I got to work at it. And so I put in a lot of practice hours, because they like to hunt out of a saddle a lot of the time. So the difference between like a hang-on tree stand and a saddle is the hang-on, you kind of sit in the stand. With the saddle, you place a platform and you kind of lean back in this little harness thing that you have. And the advantage of the saddle is you're more mobile and everything is a lot lighter. It's good for mobile hunting. But so I practiced in the saddle, attaching the camera arm to the tree, attaching the camera, because these rigs are a lot bigger than what I'm used to. I was used to running a Lumix G7, which is like super tiny, and the lens is like really small. And these the lenses are 3 times the size of the camera I was running, plus the camera body. So I really had to learn how to adapt and get a system going. And so that's what I started off doing. And then as time went on, I started filming goose hunts. Actually, that was the first hunt I actually filmed, was a goose hunt. And that was insane. I was never really interested in waterfowl. But I came to really enjoy it. I almost enjoy filming waterfowl over deer. I haven't had much experience filming turkey yet, so we'll see how that goes. But the September goose season in New York was awesome. Getting to film the dogs, getting to film all that stuff. And if you can film a waterfowl hunt, you can film anything, because the waterfowl they're flying all over the place. With a deer, it just kind of walks and you can follow along. So that's what I started off doing. And then come deer season, I was filming the hunts. I was editing. I skipped something. I edited my the first content that ever went onto their channel or their social pages that I made was actually a short from September goose season. So that was my first thing that I made for them. And then later on down the line, there may be a video that comes out that I edited from a deer hunt this past year. I don't know. But other than filming,
I want to know. Let us know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Other than filming, I just did little editing here and there. So what we would do is we'd rough videos. So the interns, it was me and another intern. We would rough a video, and so basically take out all the junk, take out all the garbage, and then send it off to John or Cody, who are the people who edit for Just Hunt Club. So it kind of makes it a little bit easier on them, and they're able to just fly through it instead of having to go through 100 hours worth of footage. Because there's sometimes where if especially if the hunt has a story, you're going through hundreds of hours worth of footage. But if it's like a 1 week thing, like we got here and we hunted for a couple days and then we killed the deer, I mean, you're looking at anywhere from 3 hours worth of footage to 8 hours worth of footage, depending on how much actually happened. So we did that, and then but it's mainly just filming. And going on different trips. We went to Alberta. I filmed a 177-inch buck get killed in Alberta.
Nice.
That was insane. I will probably never see a deer that big ever in my life. He field dressed. He weighed 226 pounds. It was insane.
They let you go walk away with some of that meat?
Oh no, unfortunately not. We couldn't take it back on the plane, and we didn't have enough space. So what the people that we were hunting with, they kept it themselves, and it's not going to go to waste.
All right.
I hope it didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure it didn't go to. I got to say something about that real quick. I'm going full screen solo on this because I have a very important thing to say about this. I'm not at that level. But if and when I get to the point to where I am pulling somebody like, probably Henry, if I'm getting Grant, John, somebody that's out here, anybody from the chat, and we're going out and we're fishing and like we have somebody who's like doing camera work or whatever. I don't care what the work is. They're walking home with me. That is a sin, man. You've got to provide some meat on that. Come on.
Hey, I didn't finish.
Oh, we got more. All right.
They gave me a whole deer, man. They gave me a whole deer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
They have a doe fest where we just go shoot does. I think we killed like 10 or 11 does in 2 days, and I got to go home with one.
Nice.
And those New York deer, man, they taste good because they're like grass fed, grain fed, because it's literally like the Midwest out there. I mean, it's great. But yeah, I could go on and on for hours on everything I experienced. I mean, ultimately, it was a great experience, and I would recommend it to anyone who's trying to get into the outdoor industry.
I love the idea of the conferences. I know that's a thing, but I've actually never heard anybody like sell it the way that you did, and I can see like how are you talking about how people just need commercials filmed. And it's there you go, man, right there.
Yeah, I mean that's what a bulk of the work is like. People look at it from the outside. They're like, "Oh, you get to hunt for a living, you get to fish for a living." No, not really. You're a video producer, and you produce videos, and you got to shoot commercials for your sponsors. You got to, that's where the real work is. I mean, you get to do something fun, and you get to monetize it, but you got to sell merch. You got to sell. Whatever companies, are giving you money, you have to sell that product to people.
Yeah.
Like it. So do you want to waterfowl hunt now or just film?
Oh, yes. I don't know. I've never actually done it myself. I've watched, and it was a lot of fun. I don't really know how to start in Tennessee other than maybe just sit over a lake somewhere and hopefully a duck flies by. But yeah, I think it's a lot of fun.
Are you close to Reelfoot?
No. I mean, I'm probably under 3-hour drive from there because I live in the middle of Tennessee, like the exact middle. So I can get to either side in under 3 hours.
Oh, you went to New York. I heard New York. I heard Canada. You're close.
Yeah.
You do traveling. You're close.
Yeah.
3 hours. You got this.
Yeah, we did. I actually was in New Hampshire for a month, and that was an experience. New Hampshire, their deer population is almost non-existent. So I spent 4 or 5 days straight doing all-day sits and didn't see a single deer. It was rough. So 12+ hour days, back to back, no sleep, and didn't see anything, just sitting in the quiet woods. And it's great, for a couple hours getting to look at the scenery and everything. But when you go back to the same spot over and over again, you just don't see anything. Like, it's really rough. It's probably the roughest hunting I've ever done. And then before I left, we got some snow, and that's really when people find success in New Hampshire, because you get to track. And since there's not that many deer, once you find footprints, they're easy to follow. And so what we ended up doing is we tracked a nice big old mature buck in the snow, and that was insane. One of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
Oh shoot! Hold on one second. My computer's about to blow up here. Okay, there it is. It's okay. I have the article about our top thing that we're going to be talking about in just a moment. And we'll go ahead and transition over into that. And since it sits here like every, I guess, 10 minutes, it just starts playing ads. That's why it keeps popping on. So my apologies on that. But got some. So this is the topic of conversation tonight, and this is what we need to have a pretty serious. Sorry, new computer, whatever. All right, so check it out. The Texas lawmaker, I'm going to read off the beginning of this, and I'll have a link in the description. We will also have a link in the description for all of Henry's social media and all that stuff. You need to check him out. Henry is one of our boys. He's old school, OG, Outdoors Live crew. Check him out. And obviously, leave a like, say hi, do all the fun things. So the story for tonight, a Texas lawmaker has filed a bill that would abolish Texas parks and wildlife. This is a Republican Representative Pat Curry, who filed House Bill 4938, which is going to transfer the functions of TPAW to other state agencies. And then they're going to disperse the funds designated to that department and basically abolish the Texas Parks and Wildlife. And I know that that's Texas. That doesn't affect everybody. It affects us here in Texas, or maybe it doesn't. But it's the same thing as if, you guys have the DNR, right? Like, that's who is the authority in your area?
I do.
I have the TWRA.
TWRA. Okay, so I hadn't messed around in that area. So yeah, what does that mean anything? Does this mean anything at all to you? I'll be honest with you. I'm undecided. Like, I've spent a week thinking about this, and I love TPAW just because it's old school. It's the ones I know. I've gotten into fights with TPAW guys out on the beach. I have hung out with them. I don't know where to fall. I don't know what my thoughts are on this one.
I have quite an opinion on it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get political here at all, but I don't know. I think it means a lot to. I think it means something to every outdoorsman, because this is the start of a chain reaction that could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
We need our wildlife agencies and resources. They are the ones who, they set the numbers, the quotas, and everything. The seasons, they do studies and testing. They don't always get it right, but we need them in order to keep our wildlife safe, happy. They also do a lot of habitat work that they're at least in my state, they're already undermanned, underfunded, so they're not able to do as much as they need to. This whole thing about firing national park workers and national forest workers, it's dangerous, and if you're an outdoorsman, you should be very concerned about it. Because like I said, these are the guys who manage our habitat. A lot of the habitat we have here in just everywhere, it's not managed correctly, and it's these guys who are putting fire on the ground, doing timber stand management, and trying to bring back what we had 300-400 years ago, before we started logging everything and kicking the natives out of their homeland and everything. Because back during those times, the natives, they would use fire to burn the landscape, and a lot of the species that lived here were fire tolerant. And now, since we don't have fire on the ground, a lot of these invasives come up. A lot of these trees that are native are coming up, but they're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be in other places. And it's our game wardens and wildlife officers and foresters and wildlife biologists that are trying to bring it all back. And there's also programs for landowners too that are at risk. We're trying to apply for cost sharing right now for our property to bring it back to native habitat, and that's at risk right now. People could be losing their jobs, and then we're SOL.
Yeah, I have an issue with I don't want these guys losing their jobs. My wife, when I first met her, she was going to school to be a Texas Parks and Wildlife person. I am probably largely the reason why, because all the illegal fishing that I was doing back then, she couldn't do it. But like, I mean, that's something that, like I said, I've known these guys. We've had to work with them. We've had, I say I've gotten into fights with them, but it was never a fight that was like, it wasn't like a knockdown, drag out fight. As we'd have arguments. There's, sometimes you get somebody, they move these guys around. Sometimes you move somebody from El Paso to Padre Island and you catch some fish and they don't know what kind of fish they're looking at. So, you have to have those discussions, and that's okay. That's fine. You can have those discussions. Now, the thing is so this falls, like, my thought is that this falls under that whole thing of like, they are trying to get rid of a bunch of different government programs, which I support. I don't support, like, or I honestly, I just don't know where to fall. It's not like they're getting rid of this for any kind of reason that is going to be helping our spending, because all those funds are just getting handed to somebody else. And now that somebody else, whoever it is just going to be working twice as hard doing somebody else's job. These people are professionals. They know what they're doing. They're good at what they do. And it's a specialized skill. And I respect that. I kind of want to keep them around for that. Like, the more I kind of think about it, the more I want to keep them around.
And don't get me wrong, I support getting rid of government programs that are useless. And obviously that's subjective. What's useless to me might not be useless to you, but I definitely support eliminating costs that are not necessary. But I feel like when it comes to our national parks, national forests, wildlife management areas, public lands, these are sacred places because, they are safe from being developed. Everything else that's privately owned, it's probably going to be developed someday, unless you have someone like me or like us that are conservationists that want to keep it for wildlife. And the less people you have doing this, the worse off our habitat's going to be, because there's a lot of public lands that are still not suitable. Well, wildlife adapts, but ideally are not suitable for deer, turkeys, quail, whatever native species you have.
Yeah. Well, it says the General Land Office would take over duties related to regulating parks, natural areas, wildlife management areas, fish hatcheries, historic sites, or other public land. The Department of Agriculture would take over duties related to native plants, wildlife, and conservation or management of native plants and wildlife, including hunting and fishing. And then the Department of Public Safety would take over the duties related to law enforcement, such as game wardens, as well as the enforcement of water safety and the regulation of boating vessels.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a win to me.
I guess they're gonna have to hire more people.
That's just it. Like, they're not getting rid of anything. Like, you have this department that specializes in exactly this, and rather than having a specialist, we're going to divvy up the duties between 3 other departments that are probably going to have to hire people to cover.
Right. That's I don't. Maybe it's just a political move to try and look better. I don't know.
And who knows what else is buried in the bill? You know how that goes sometimes. They're I don't know. There could be 1,000 different things that are like buried into a 400-page document that nobody wants to read through to see, that it's all actually about, I don't know, taking control of water resources or something. We Go Fishing says, my opinion is that Texas has been very undermanaged, and it shows. And this to me is just like, it's going to be even more undermanaged because it's going to be split up. And basically there's going to be some dude behind a desk and they're going to hand them a stack of paperwork and be like, oh yeah, by the way, we need this done by Friday.
And that's how it is with a lot of states. I mean, they're all underfunded because at the end of the day, the timber that is good for wildlife, I mean, I guess oaks are a good valuable tree, but the basal area of trees that are ideal for wildlife is widely spaced out. And there's much more of an incentive for someone to go in and plant pines real close together and sell those, and that doesn't benefit wildlife at all.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's no thought behind this. There's not one piece of this that is being put out because of protecting fish, protecting fishermen, protecting the wildlife or the plant life, the flora, the fauna. There's no part of this that is intended to do that. This is a strategic move to empower another agency that somebody has, they have a hand in or something. That's just what it smells like to me.
Farmall says the Pennsylvania Wildlife Government organizations have two-barred Pennsylvania.
So, and I want to be open on this. I know that it's like it can get heated. We're not trying to take it in that direction or anything, but Farmall, I'd be curious. So would you be in support of them breaking up the Pennsylvania Wildlife Government organizations and handing it over to your general land office, Department of Agriculture and Public Safety? Is you see that being something that works for you, or is there maybe this is something that needs to happen and this is just the wrong way for it to happen? That's possible too.
Yeah.
From my experience, I do know this about Pennsylvania. I like their deer hunting laws a lot better. They're a $1 state, and they also have antler restrictions, I believe, which allows deer to get older and grow. But I don't know much else about it.
I think Farmall would say it's hard to get a buck to mature age in Pennsylvania.
Really interesting.
In his area. Right. I think he's like north central. But yeah, he's killed some nice bucks on his farm.
My experience in Pennsylvania was like a zoo of big deer. But maybe I was just handed a silver spoon, which I probably was.
Right.
It was an interesting. When I was over there, it was crazy. It was like a highway for bucks. We were seeing bucks once at like every hour, and they got bigger and bigger as time went on. It was crazy.
What part of the
cool state? We were on public land. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Can't say northeast, southeast, north, south.
We were in the state of Pennsylvania.
Just tell us what city were you sleeping in that night? Just let us know what the street name where your hotel was.
I'll drop you an exact pin of where the buck was killed.
I think I got an idea of what that pin's gonna look like. It's one of those. They need to, for fishermen
with a big circle around the entire state. Yeah, it was here.
In this general vicinity. Yeah, hey, Ben's right about this, and this isn't just Texas. Like, this is happening in Texas now. I guarantee you. I absolutely guarantee you. Keep an eye out. Florida, Pennsylvania, you other guys, dude. It's
going to be a chain reaction.
Yeah, there's going to be other people that react to this. Know who your state representatives are. Make your opinions known. Go to your local government. Know your stuff. Say your piece.
Right.
There you go. And that, if for no other reason than exactly this right here. Just found out the railroad commissioner doesn't regulate the railroad. There you go. And that's exactly what's going to be happening to fishing, hunting.
He said earlier about the game wardens being state troopers. Yeah, I think they're more like federal agents, like a federal game warden is. More like they can pretty much do whatever they want.
Well, and I am kind of curious about that, because I've never really had an issue with a game warden to where, they have a lot more authority than your general police officer or something. I've never had an issue with that. But that is hypothetically maybe a problem. I've heard people complain about it. So this would hypothetically, I presume, take away that power, right? So maybe I don't have people who are physically able to raid my boat or my house.
Well, I don't know if it'd be that or they'd just be switched over to Department of Public Safety. So,
and now, Department of Public Safety can raid my house and my boat.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is an issue, an interesting one, because we need people to enforce wildlife laws in order for people to follow them. So what happens with that?
Right.
I would rather have a specialist, somebody who, when you run into these guys, you see them on the TV shows, and anybody who's run into DNR or TPAR or any one of these guys, they're not bad people. Like, these are genuine, generally salt of the earth kind of people that,
right.
If you have a fish that is a 1/4 inch undersized out, and it's not like you're necessarily absolutely going to get that $500 ticket like you might if you're going 12 miles over the speed limit on a highway. Mm-hmm. So sure. I like that handling of those situations better. They read them better, in my opinion, because they're specialists. But anyway, let us know your thoughts. If you're watching this after the fact, please consider subscribing. We have discussions like this all of the time, and we would enjoy your input. Leave us a little comment on there. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this. We can continue this conversation later if you enjoy doing so. But right now, it is that time. We need to take a look at our photographs of the week as presented by the, let me bring it up here, Premier Fishing and Hunting Discord server. If you are not a member, you need to join us in there. We would enjoy living your adventures vicariously through you, and you would be very welcome. There's a link in the description down below. Kicking things off this week, we have Daiwa Enthusiast getting us outdoors on the water.
Beautiful.
Yep, exactly. We all need more of this. And no, saltwater 24/7. No, you don't sit there and enjoy this while watching TikTok. Not how that is supposed to be done. Wild Japan, dude.
I missed those. Nice. I think I might have seen those. Good catch.
Those.
Good looking spot.
Oh, at least he's watching short. All right. I'll dial it back just a hair because it's shorts and not TikTok, but still. And so, Wild Japan, I got a question for you on this one, man. These are beautiful shots, as usual. I know that you had some issues like trying to get your hook set on some of these fish, but I got to ask, those are some beautiful catches. What's with the price tags above them on the table? I mean, I'm not necessarily calling you out, but what's up with that? You buy those at the market?
Amen. Oh, yeah, it's in Japanese, so I can't read what it says.
I saw price tags. When I was editing this, I saw price tags on it. It's taking him a minute. He's writing I know what he's doing. He's writing a really long excuse. No, I caught these. We'll see what he says in just a second here. Moving on, we got Stratix #1 Fangirl and X4. So this was an interesting topic of conversation, actually, right here. Okay, Wild Japan said, wish they had ones that tasty. It is prices to rent at the campground. Okay, I'll buy that. I know you do a lot of camping. I'll buy into that. And I appreciate you putting me in my place on that one. So this was an interesting conversation. Check out this pike on the left. It's two different months. That's the same pike. And look how he healed up. The top photo is the newer one.
Okay, yeah, the tail.
Yeah, check this out. I got a close-up on this. You can see, so I did a detailed analysis of the patterning around the scar.
Mm-hmm. And the conclusion is that it is the same fish?
I think we were on the fence. We did kind of come down to it being the same fish, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and end this conversation right here and there because I was going blind looking at the images all super close up on the screen. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and put this one to bed.
Gotcha. Pattern looks similar. I don't know if it's the same though.
Nope, absolutely the same. 100% guaranteed. I did science. I mean, the scars are similar.
Yeah, they are.
And the patterning is similar. He's got that little loop.
How do they
like an
spawn?
REA.
Do they spawn like bass do? Do they use their tails to make a bed?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. You got me. I don't know anything about it.
And do they spawn during the winter time?
Got me.
I don't know.
Not my species, man. I'll tell you everything about saltwater, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've only caught one pike in my life, so.
Yeah.
I've caught a little pickerel, I guess.
I haven't got a pickerel yet either, but it's high on my list because I do have. Well, I got to get a muskie first. I'm dying. My wife's got a muskie and a tiger muskie, and I've put in like
cool.
8 times the amount of casts that she has. It's bullshit, is what it is, Henry. Yeah, Monica, I'm sorry, I did not catch that, but I'm all about it. I will be there as soon as we get out here.
It was nice. It was close to a 4-pounder. I'll give a little spoiler.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll get it on here too. After these guys, we got Daniel with some Norwegian grouse, the Iowa fisherman, and I Am Sammy got himself a new PB, 3.5-pound bass.
Heck yeah. Monica's was bigger, just saying.
Awesome. I love it. We'll get that on here. Got some people getting themselves some suckers. Bakermeister was out there just having a blast with the dogs, catching some good bass. Kiwi trying some fly fishing. Bluegill toucher getting himself multiple species.
Heck yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to figure out how to get that on camera here, Monica. We're going to have to get it on the stream. I'll figure that out. It's hard to do, but man, I want to figure that out. The reactions are always the best part of it. We got Truman and North Bunch getting into just gorgeous streams. I wish we had stuff like this here.
Yeah, that's some pretty scenery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Monica, I feel the same way. Like one of the big reasons why we started doing this in the first place is because like I can't tell you how many dozens of times the weekend will come up and I'll be like, I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to do anything. And then it'll be like, oh, there's no wind. The water's going to be pretty. I got to go out and get my photos to put these guys in their place. I've got outdoors more times because of these guys putting me in my place. I use them psychologically.
There we go. Nice crappie.
A little more from Daiwa. We got G Llama with a big old stack of bait. He got something. He got himself a big eagle ray, but no pictures the other day.
Nice striper.
Yeah, that's my striper and flounder are Michael's things. He loves rubbing it in about flounder. I don't know why. He has like a sick fascination with trying to put me in my place on flounder.
Did you catch that striper on saltwater?
I think so. Yeah, he's out of New Jersey, so I'm pretty sure that's saltwater.
That's cool.
Mark caught his biggest beaver ever.
We could use that in the server, man. We don't have many people doing beaver.
Yeah, Mark was at the Nashville NWTF a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago.
Man, we should have connected.
Yeah.
Wish I'd have known.
Yep. Him and
We need to
Trapper
have a
Jay.
calendar or something everybody can be aware of.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. Maybe a newsletter.
Nice turkey. A nice little bag.
Gunpoint, that's the Iowa fisherman. Got him a few more. Outdoors fishing dream. He doesn't like waking up early in the morning, but he said he's good to go if he gets to go out on the kayak, and he had a beautiful day out on the lake.
Nice setup.
Oh yeah, he had to work at the event. Or did he have to work at the event, or did he work and was not able to go to the event?
No, he was working at the event.
Working at it.
Oh,
Okay.
what booth? What booth was he at?
I think it was a trapping booth. I think it was Duke's Traps, maybe.
Hmm.
Like 2 ships passing in the night, man. You know what? I could set something up like that. Let me see what I can do. That's not a bad idea. I like that idea of having a calendar where everybody can be aware of what's going on. All right, we got Burb Intel with his first fish of 2025, Reaper and Marlin Woods. I'm assuming Marlin had to sit out there for a bit in order to get into that walleye.
It's a wonky shed.
Yeah. I want to say that he said that was his first shed ever.
I got one like that actually. Here, let me go look for it.
That is first shed ever. How do you? Oh, I thought his glove was I thought his glove was another.
One of the times.
Oh, what is that? Is that a time down there at the base? What is that? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't have a figure.
I got one that looks almost exactly like that.
North American Trapper Booth. That's what it was.
Look at that.
Hell
like almost
yeah,
the
man,
exact
that's pretty.
same.
You know?
Yeah, I found the matching side to him. He's a weird looking dude.
Heck yeah.
Tennessee public land for you.
Nice. And then we got Toxic Barrel and Sniper Boy. Toxic's wanting to get himself into some redfish, but haven't been able to do that just yet. So while he's waiting, he's trying to do some catfish. Sniper Boy has just come on hard the last couple of weeks. He's already got himself a Photographer of the Week win, and now he's gunning for a second one. Monica Henry is actually 47 years old. He just eats really well.
Yep. I'm 23. 23. I'll be 24 in May.
Just like the rest of us. 30 days all the way around. Absolutely right about that. All right. It is that time. This is our current 2025 Wall of Fame. Congratulations to everybody who's got themselves a spot in there so far. And now we need to go ahead and add somebody new. Our options tonight are going to be Michael, Daniel, and North Bunch. Who needs to be added to our 2025 Wall of Fame? Cast your vote in the chat now. Let us know.
This is a difficult one for me.
Yeah, it kind of is for me too. Like any one of them would work just fine. If you look at the real quick, if you look at the what we've got on here right now, and then now what needs to be added to that?
Oh. I like all of them. I like all of them a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Ben.
I think I'm going with Daniel. We don't get much Norwegian grouse, and we are about to not see any more snow on the scene. Michael, North Bunch, I do not mean to knock you guys. Those are beautiful catches. I got faith Michael is going to get himself on the board. He catches some good fish. North Bunch, you keep catching stuff like that, you will get on there. You're a good photographer. You got a good shot. You caught yourself a nice fish. We don't see many Norwegian grouse.
Say the Outdoors Live crew vote is Stanley, just to make it clear.
Yeah, I'm figuring things out here. Speaking of which, I don't have a damn pen.
Well, so far it's 1A, 1C, and 2, 4, 6, 7 B.
Let me see. see here real quick. Dude, I miss being 24, but seriously, like I screwed off those 20s so bad that I don't want to be that dude anymore, and I'm good with it.
Hey, my son was born 3 months before I turned 24.
Yeah, see, my dad was 24 when I was born, and I waited until like 32 for my daughter, and that was such a waste. Like I wish I'd had my daughter like at 22. That way I could have, been young enough to kind of enjoy those things.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to jump on the trampoline with him and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff I definitely wouldn't want to do now in my 40s.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got about 30 more seconds. Anybody who has not cast your vote, do so now. Michael with a striper, Daniel with Norwegian grouse or North Bunch with that beautiful, is that a trout? Salmon. It's salmon, right?
I think so. But no. I think it's a runaway. There's not enough people in here to...
Yeah, there is. You're right. There's not enough to sway the vote.
No.
So, guys, Michael and North Bunch, congratulations. You guys have some amazing catches under your belt, and we expect to see more from you in the very near future. However, it is Daniel who is running away as a winner tonight. Congratulations on an amazing trip, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. We appreciate being able to live vicariously through your experiences. Also, a special thanks to our waitlisters for the week. That's going to be Wild Japan, Stratic, Fangirl, Bakermeister, I Am Sammy, Bluegill Toucher, Truman WV, and Coors. Guys, thank you so much. Just before we finish things up here, what can we expect to see from you next week when we do this all over again next Tuesday? Grant, what do you got coming up for us, man?
Nothing special. If this weather straightens out, I definitely want to get back out and catch some crappie. I'm trying to get the greenhouse ready. I've got some stuff started, got a few little sprouts, but we had another hard frost Sunday morning. So still early. I mean, we've had a few days that, like today, it was 72, so it felt great out there, but it's not spring yet. It's still early.
I'm in the same boat. I planted the garden. I may go do some fishing this weekend if I can physically get out there. I got 3 videos under my belt that I have absolutely got to finish editing and get them out there. I'm under the whole analysis paralysis thing right now, trying to push my way through because they're going to be good. So that's what you can expect from me. Henry, what have you got coming up for us, man?
We'll see. Probably this weekend. If I got time or we can get it set up, I'd like to do the white bass run. That'd be fun. If not, probably going to be doing some land management stuff or scouting public land, one of the two.
Can we expect to see a video from you?
Definitely can expect to see content on my Instagram and I guess YouTube shorts maybe. We'll see about a video. I'm gonna have to do some actual stuff myself.
Yeah.
to get something like that. If I go fishing, maybe, but hunting season's not going to start for another month, a little under. So we'll see.
Well, man, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Henry. I appreciate having you here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you.
I enjoy being out here.
Anybody who wants to check him out, we will have a link in the description down below for all of these things. You can check them out. I'll have that up here in just a few minutes. And thank you so much. Go and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you when we do this all over again next Tuesday, 6 o'clock Central. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy your weekend. See you next week.
Good night.